Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. It has been quite a while. My name is Rob. I do apologise for the disruption as of late, but we are gonna slide past that for now and just get straight back into making content. This is the FIFA 21 AFC Bournemouth career mode, so if you guys could please give this video a like, subscribe as well, that would be really appreciated. And I don't see a need to dick about. Let's just get straight into the career mode. I'm very excited to get stuck in, and I hope you are too. So basically, we just need to go through the club, have a bit of a chat about it, see where we're at, see where we need to be in however many years I propose. You know what I mean. Also, before I start this, please remember that if you guys have any suggestions for any aspect of this career mode, please do feel free to leave your input in the comments section down below. Anyway, let's take a look at this squad that we're working with. Let's start from the back. In goal is Asmir Begovic. He is, I think, 33. He is indeed the former Chelsea backup goalkeeper. He's a proven goalkeeper. He's done well in real life in the Championship, but last time he was in the Premier League, he was a bit shaky. I'm going to keep him in the sticks for this season as far as I'm concerned, but we will shift him on if we get into the Premier League next season, which is going to be our #1 priority. No matter how it happens, I want to be back in the top flight next season. Centre-back spot, we have Steve Cook, experienced. I think he's around 30, 29, there you go. And El Capitano, of course, going to be here. 75 rated centre-back, not even in his 30s in the Championship. You got to love that. Then we've got Chris Meffam, who is a young Welsh centre-back. He is 22 years of age, 6'3". He's wearing the number 6 shirt. He is a rock at the back as well. So the centre-back position, along with the goalkeeper, will not have to be touched in this first season. Left-back as well, I'm very happy with, as Diego Rico sits there, and we've got very good cover with a young Lloyd Kelly, who I do want to shift into the squad, I think. I want to get him growing. And also we have Adam Smith, who can play there, as you can see. And then speaking of right back, where Adam Smith can play as well, we've got Jack Stacey, who is going to start ahead of him. He is 24. He's a little bit younger and better going forward. But Adam Smith as well is very good. It's a tough one. I think I'm going to rotate that spot the most in the entire squad. Defensive mid, we've got, in my opinion, the best player in this squad here, Jefferson Lerma, an absolute gun in the midfield. Still only 25, could grow, probably going to be here for the first 2 or 3 seasons. Absolute legend. To the right of him, we have Lewis Cook. Again, we've just been relegated and we've kept hold of a lot of good players. Lewis Cook is one of them, and he's going to be fine here as well. You know, he's so well-rounded in that midfield, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy having him just be that main box-to-box sort of player. You know, Lerma's going to be the rock. Lewis Cook is going to be that box-to-box player who brings a lot going forward as well. But Dan Gosling, I think, here's the dilemma. If I bring him out and bring in Philip Billing, Billing has a lot of stats that are higher than his, and that's well and good. And not only that, but you know, he's left-footed on that left side, still only 24, 6'6". What isn't there to love? Well, he is a very... I'll compare them with really good, not really good players, high-profile players. Billing is like Xhaka, and Gosling is like Ceballos. Let's use Arsenal for an example. So they've both probably been on par with how well they've done with their job in real life. But Gosling is that main man going forward. So how good would this be? We have a rock sort of DM. We've got a box-to-box player here. And then we've got the main centre mid going forward, which would be Gosling, or do we have Billing in there as more of a stabiliser for midfield, which would heavily rely on just through balls to these three and up top? That's something that I'm unsure of. How we've kept Josh King, I have no idea. I'll convert him to a striker and use him for the first season at least. He's still only 28 as well, so he's in his prime. I cannot wait to use him in the Championship. He will be up there for the Golden Boot, or at least he better be. On the right, we've got David Brooks. I'm just going to convert him to a right wing. I know he can already play there, but it's just my OCD, bro. And no, David Brooks is a very good player. We know this already. We know how good he is. He's still only 22 years of age as well. Now we've got Danjuma Groeneveld. Arnout Danjuma Groeneveld, the ex-Bruges man. Pretty poor in the Premier League last season, but this season he's a different beast. I think he's got 6 goal involvements after 10 games in the Championship. He is a beast on that left-hand side. He will definitely be the main man on that left-hand side, especially for this first season. So, in terms of transfer business, there's not really much I want to do. We've got pretty good squad depth here. We've got O'Connell, Anthony, and Najoli, who I am looking to sell. We've got Namandi Aforba, Kilkenny, who's just not going to get many minutes, and Gosling as our only backup midfielders, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not too confident with. You know, I think they're good, but I just don't think. I think we need one more midfielder coming in on the bench. You know, just for cover, all that sort of stuff. We've got Raquelma, we've got Stanislas, we've got, where is he, O'Connell down here. Not that he's much help, to be honest. So maybe one more winger might help. But we're good for strikers. We've got Surridge here, who's 21. We've got Solanke here, who's 22. I don't know if this guy has much of a future, to be honest, but we've still got him here. And, of course, Josh King up front as our main striker. But to be honest, there's not too much I really need to do. The only thing that I'm really considering right now, and this is just temporary, obviously O'Connell will be leaving, hopefully, is bring in... Well, we've got Lloyd Kelly, who can play centre-back, so that is so good to have like a versatile defender there. We've also got Smith, who can play right-back and left-back, which is awesome. Absolutely love my two full-back / centre-back options here on the bench. But here we need to bring in like a midfielder. We've got a 3 in midfield, and we've got Gosling on the bench, and that's it. So that's why I reckon if we kept someone like Andrew Sermon, who's very similar to Philip Billing, not in the build, but in the style of play, I think that would have been much more helpful for our depth, because I find it a bit wasteful to have a goalkeeper on the bench. It just doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest. So we've got Carter Vickers on loan as well, which is really good. We don't have to have him on the bench either, because, well, we're sorted like with Lloyd Kelly in there, which, again, like I said before, is so handy to have. Like, I honestly can't express how handy that is. We've also got Jack Simpson, so we've got Simpson and Carter Vickers down here. I think in terms of our entire back line, we are fine. We've even got Mark Travers and Dennis as our 2 backup goalkeepers to Begovic, which is awesome. And apart from that, I just think we need a midfielder to come in here, and maybe Raquelma, since he's on loan, can go down here in the resis, and we bring in a proper winger for the bench, because I think Brooks, Danjuma, and King are great in attack. I think our entire starting 11 just does not need to be touched, man. Let's see how much we have working in to work with in the bank before the preseason tournament will commence. God, every FIFA, it just takes so long to load up. Wow, £35 million, 140k on the wages. That's double decent indeed. But yeah, that's a rundown of AFC Bournemouth. Sorry that took a while. I'm not surprised if you skipped that, to be honest. And yes, I'm aware it's a good idea to have intermittent training on as your weekly schedule. However, I have decided to literally just leave it as rest days for the entire thing. So yeah, don't worry about that. I'll take care of that. This is all just about the... what do you call it, the games, and just getting up to the Premier League, to be honest. Going for a rotated side in our first pre-season match against Besiktas. We've got pretty much our entire second team in there, except, you know, Stacey, Billing, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to quick sim this. I'm fully expecting to lose, but that's okay. It's all about getting a run out. Jesus Christ, we got clapped. Laich with 2, I should say, Lentz and Abubakar got the goals. Lloyd Kelly picked up a yellow. They only made 1 sub. That's very annoying. You know, you can have unlimited in pre-season. How is this still a bug in the game? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Ugh. Anyway, we have a transfer offer from Strasbourg for Dan Gosling. Now, I'm looking at 2 midfielders that I can bring in, and I think they would just be sufficient compared to Gosling. They're both younger. I do want a little bit more money, though. I want to squeeze upwards of 2.8, 2.9 million. I know a few £100,000 doesn't really matter too much in a career mode with a team like Bournemouth, who are pretty financially stable, but I am going to give it a go anyway. So we're going to try for 3 first up and see what they say about that. Submit that offer, and they will say 2.85. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. We're just going to bump that up to 2.975 and 2.85. I'm going to try one more. 2.93. Yeah, I don't know why that went down so quick, but they're going to take it. Alright. It doesn't really matter, like, under £100,000 difference. I know it doesn't, but, you know, it's worth having a go at trying to get as many little pennies as you can out of every single sale. But now we've got Gank up in the Preseason tournament again. I'm going to use the first team this time because I just want to get a win on the board at least. Please no injuries or suspensions. I'd be so mad. And it's a 1-1 draw. Lewis Cook scored for us. There's no injury, so that's good. But Desers scored in the 72nd minute for them. So Dan Gosling has departed AFC Bournemouth. I did have a few plans to use him this season, but after I found a few players on the shortlist, I am okay with letting him go to Strasbourg. We've also got a transfer offer here for Jaden Anthony, who is a player that I'm just never going to use. We're going to accept it. I don't think he's going to go, though. You know what it's like on FIFA trying to sell young players. Alright, I'm going to try play a strong team for this game as well. Quick sim against Dijon. We've got to win, surely, against Dijon. They're a decent side, but there we go. Lewis Cook with another goal and Josh King getting on the score sheet. Big things expected from him this season. But we do win, and surely that means we're into the semis. We're not. We've got a 4-0 loss, a 1-1 draw, and a 2-0 win. But it's alright. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And with that, we're left with £38 million. What have they done here? Hang on. McKelly plus 2 mil for Rico, which I'm not interested in. I don't want to sell Diego Rico. Let me show you my transfer hub and show you the players I was looking at. So, John Lundstrom was supposed to be that fourth, class for the championship, sort of midfielder to come in and do an exceptional job. Either that or we think long-term and get someone like Gilmore. Either one would be exceptional, to be honest. And then I was looking at this guy who's become a very popular signing in FIFA 21. Xavi Simons, La Marzia project from the Netherlands, who was sold to PSG for over £1.2 million, I think in 2019 or maybe 2018 or something like that. I can't quite remember. But this guy, 17 years of age, has a high potential. He is a technical dribbler. That's his trait. And he would get minutes for us, I think. If we brought him in as like that bench centre mid, not like the world-class one to come off the bench, but like what Kilkenny could be in a couple of years. But like right now, we all have one in Xavi Simons. Gilmore would be that same player, but I think it would be harder to rotate Gilmore and Lundstrom's game time. And whilst it would be better ratings-wise to have Lundstrom, why don't we have players that are 7 years and 9 years to his prior age? Like I don't know. That's just my thought, and I reckon Gilmore and Simons would be really good signings. I don't know if I'm gonna make both in this episode, but that's the thing. Like, you know, my starting three in midfield I'm happy with right now, to be honest. But what if we could get, like, you know, Xavi Simons and Gilmore into that team? Like, how insane would that be? Not in the starting 11, but like on the bench, you know? Because at the moment, our only backup centre mid is Kilkenny, and he's, what, 59 rated or something like that. But, yeah, I guess that's a decision we literally have to make right now. We're in this episode, and that's really all I'm thinking of doing. So why don't we give it a crack? First things first, we have a transfer offer here from PSV from for Junior Stanislas. My apologies. We are I pressed B. I was supposed to press Y and block offers for him. I know he's 30, not really young at all, but you know, we want to keep him. He's a good rotation player. Thankfully, Jaden Anthony, to my surprise, has gone to Fortuna Sittard. So that's really good. I probably butchered that name, but that's fine by me. I don't really care. So Jaden Anthony is now gone. Let's have a look at the squad, especially after the Gosling sale. So Travers has come in here. Let me just, so I can swap them straight out. Najoli is pretty much the only player that I really need to sell now, along with O'Connell, sorry. But basically, all I need to do is just bring in the centre mids that I was wanting to bring in. So at this rate, I'm thinking Gilmore, and I'm thinking Xavi Simons. I think Gilmore and Lundstrom would just be too difficult to fit into this three-man midfield. Maybe Lundstrom and Xavi Simons would be a good idea. I don't know. Not many people would really expect me to sign like a player in their prime. Like, they'd just say, oh yeah, you'd sign the best young players, which Xavi Simons and Billy Gilmore are those sorts of players. But if I brought in Lundstrom, he would give such good competition to Billing and Cook, sorry. And, you know, you can see here, Cook can play CDM. Billing can, in my opinion, even though it says he can't, he can definitely play CDM, in my opinion. And if we brought in Lundstrom, so could he. So all of those three in midfield would have to fight extremely hard for their position, along with Xavi Simons in the side. Bro, I really want to do that. I'm going to bring in John Lundstrom and Xavi Simons if I can get the deal done. Now, of course, it's
I'm trying to keep this as realistic as I can. Whilst Lundstrom might not be too realistic, can I loan Xavi Simons? Please. Okay, they're at least letting me talk to them. Thank the Lord, because I think buying Xavi Simons for Bournemouth would just be... no. Loan to buy? I think that's pretty unrealistic, but doesn't matter. No, I want to do a loan to buy, and they're okay with that. Wow. I'm going to do a 1-year loan, and, oh, I forgot to check how much he's worth. They want a 60-40 wage split. To be fair, it's only 1/800, but I'm going to try and go 50-50, and they really want 60-40. I'm going to try 50-50 again, and they're going to accept it now. What the actual hell? So, what? Oh, of course, I have to freaking propose a fee. 65 rated at age 17. If I have to pay 1.1 mil, I won't be mad, but they're probably going to want a little bit more. If not, then I don't care about his value. I'm happy to take that. 1.7 mil. That's still ridiculous for a guy with like 87 potential. Going to try 1.5. Get in there. Now all we need to wait on is Xavi Simons to get back to us. But while we're doing that, should we just go in for Lundstrom? No, I want to do one deal at a time. You fat penis. As if Xavi Simons has turned it down. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. That's so annoying because we got the agreement done and everything. Do we just go for Gilmore? I mean, it just seems a bit boring because everyone goes for him. Then again, so do they with Xavi Simons. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to look around for another midfielder. Just give me a bit. But for now, I reckon, instead of wasting any time, we should just go straight in for John Lundstrom. He'd be so good for us, man. And he's not that sort of typical career mode signing, is he? I'm really excited to make this transfer. I don't think it's incredibly unrealistic, but I think he is a good player for Sheffield United and doesn't really deserve to be playing championship football per se. But I'm going to go in with... oh, that's a bit too much, Rob. I'm going to go in with an £8 million offer, see what the Sheffield United manager says. 1% sell-on clause. You know what I'm going to do here. Remove the sell-on clause. What are they going to say? Oh, my God. Easy clap, boys. £8 million steal for John Lundstrom. Chris Wilder, you fool. Anyway, let's get into the negotiations, see what we can do. We're going to give him an important squad role, although I think he'll want crucial, which he asks for, and he shall receive it. It's going to be very hard rotating them in the midfield, but I want to give myself a headache. I never thought I'd say that in my life. 4-year contract, that's pretty good. My voice just did a con crack there. Haha, punny. I need a girlfriend. Oh my god, and I need to do the salaries. I'm going to offer 24k a week. Please don't storm out. Okay, he's just going to ask for 78k. You know what? Because I am so happy that you asked for it that I'm going to up your wage and just down this to 69 because, yes. And, yes, get in, boys. Johnny Lundstrom. Lundstrom. I just cannot speak. I apologize. But he comes into the squad. That is incredible. And at the moment, Billing is going to be my man on the bench. And we are going to have John Lundstrom come into the side like that. 5-star weak foot, 26 years of age, 5'11". So well-rounded. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. He is a player that dives into tackles. He can do finesse shots. And he's a long passer. So we've got Lundstrom and Cook who can both do a job going forward and going back. And we've got Jefferson Lerma here as well, who is the rock-solid DM in the side. So let's assign Lundstrom a number. One of the best parts of signing a new player for me is giving them a new number. So let's see what he automatically got. Number 13. Blech. I'm not really interested in number 4. 11 doesn't suit him. 8 already is taken by Jeffo, Big Jefferson Lerma. 7's taken by David Brooks. Again, 4 and 2, just, yeah, no. But, yeah, you've got like 11, 12, and 13 that are there free for him. 16 is already taken. 18 is a pretty good shout. 22, 25. I'm thinking 22, man. That's typically given to wingers, but this guy is just a born runner. I love it. Yes, number 22 for John Lundstrom. Welcome to the club, my friend. So, I found 2 potential players that we could get into the side. So, you know, apart from Gilmore and Simmons. So, I found Forsto Vera, who has a very confusing name for such a short name. Argentinian 20-year-old who is a centre mid. bit of a box-to-box centre mid who currently plays for Juniors and is 67 rated. We've also got a guy called Joris Kotar, who is playing for Montpellier, 69 rated at the age of 18, and is a well-rounded central midfielder who would slot in perfectly to our midfield. I think we have made our mind up. It's not the most exciting of signings, and probably unrealistic for him to come to Bournemouth on a permanent basis, but I don't really care. We are going to give this a shot. Just throw in 3 million. We've got quite a bit of money, so let's see what they say. And they're doing what they did with the Lundstrom deal. Well, obviously not these guys, but I don't want the sell-on clause just in case, even though I probably won't end up selling him. And they're taking 3 mil. It's unbelievable, man. Anyway, we're gonna go and negotiate a deal for him now. Get the signing out of the way nice and early. I'm sure Vera is a good player. Could get him in another career mode. However, I'm very, very happy that we can just casually nip this guy on a 5-year deal. Sporadic squad role. Everything is going perfect. No release clause. If he asks for the wage now. Damn it. That would have capped it off. But I'm sure he's going to want a pay increase. I'm going to give him 8k, double his wage, and just let him settle on that. So Kotar has come in. That is a very interesting signing. I'm glad I can make that signing. It's no, I like it. I think that's pretty cool. So O'Connell will, of course, come out, who's going to come down here, and we're going to shuffle the bench around like that. Cotard will stay up here. And now we need to go and assign him a shirt number. He's probably going to get a pretty high, high number because he is not a starting player just yet. So let's see what's available. 25 and 26. 32 would be pretty good on him, as would 30. I think 30 would look pretty good. And yeah, I like it. Joris Kotar, we'll get used to it. He is going to be a special player. Oh, and while we're here, we need to sort out a few development plans for certain players. So, who do we need to sort out? David Brooks, who we need to change basically to a right winger. So this is all I'm talking about, mate. I'm just talking about, just changing their positions for OCD purposes. So that's just going to take 2 weeks. Too easy. Stanislas, I mean, he can play right mid, left wing. It doesn't really matter. Raquelma, it doesn't matter because he is currently on loan, so I just can't be asked with him. But we will, with Stanislas, change him to a left winger. And to be honest, I think his overall might go up to a 74. But we can test that theory right now. Let's go left winger. Oh no, his overall can't go up yet, you stupid ranger, because that's right, we need to actually change his position first. Josh King as well is a player that we need to sort out. His contract is expiring along with Stanislas, so we really do need to sort out contracts probably come January. Let's do striker, should take 2 weeks, no worries. So in a few days' time, we're going to have to play Reading away from home to kick off the season, which is going to be very, very tough. But the one thing that I think we could improve at Bournemouth is the centre-back spot. So what I mean is potentially next season, since Steve Cook is not going to get any better, he'll hit 30 by the end of the campaign. I don't think he'll be good enough for the Prem if we make it in. So since Metham is currently 73 overall, if we want to shift him into the starting 11, like ahead of Cook over time, I think we need a centre-back that can just cement his spot into the starting 11 while Cook and Metham, rotate spots essentially. Now, I've shortlisted 3 players, all of, I'd say, similar ability and all of very different age. So we've got 25-year-old Chelsea bench centre-back Kurt Zouma, who's been killing it in real life recently. We've got 19-year-old Arsenal William Saliba, who was out on loan last season, very injury-prone, although somehow doesn't have that trait in the game, which is pretty insane. But yeah, he's not being used much in real life, and I don't think it's too realistic for him to come to Bournemouth. But look, it won't let us try and loan him. So Saliba's like the 3rd option. Zouma is the 2nd, which means that my 3rd choice here is 32-year-old Johnny Evans, coming to the tail end of his career in the top flight. Leicester centre-back from Northern Ireland, who has been doing very well, particularly in the 1920 campaign for Leicester City. 6'2", he's experienced, he's, as I said, quite old. So this is probably the most realistic one for him to drop down to an ambitious team. He'd really help us for a season. I don't think they'd they'd want us to take him on loan. So let's just go for Johnny Evans, who would be very, very good. Now, I'm not usually one to, like, try and create equal, what do you call it, sort of overall switches, like how I've got with the midfield. That's a really poor way of saying it, but you know how I've got Lundstrom, Billing, Cook, and Lerma, 4 really class midfielders fighting for 3 positions. I want that with 3 centre-backs for 2 centre-back positions. I have no idea how much I'm supposed to offer here, but if we go in with 8 million, what would they say to that? Please don't take that. Okay, they're not going to. So that estimates that he's around 11 million value. We're removing, of course, Lewis Cook. We're not going to have him in that deal. But what if we... Actually, no, not 10 mil. We'll go in with 9, because they were willing to talk at 8. 10.2. Alright, so we can definitely afford this guy. Let's just drop this down to 10 for my OCD, and I'm guessing they're going to accept it. No, they're going to go for 10.2. It really doesn't matter. That's fine. I was just trying to sort out my OCD. So we are now going to talk about Johnny Evans' contract. If I sometimes procrastinate with some of the words that I say and some of the sentences that I use in this career mode, I do apologise. That's why some episodes are just going to go for like 5 minutes longer than they really should be going for. But I'm not going to put in a release clause. He's asked for the wage. It is quite a lot, but that's fine by me. I'm going to increase this to 450. And then try and give him 36 maybe? Would that work? After removing the appearances bonus, 45. Alright, let's try bump this up to 500 and bump this down to 40k. Please, Johnny, just take it, mates. No, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to decrease this to 39 and then increase this to 600 now. I'm just trying to spare as much money as I can, and there we go. Johnny Evans is a new signing. Zuma and Saliba, maybe in another career mode, but not this one. I think that would probably make him our highest paid player, would it not? Johnny Evans here. He's not getting number 4. He is going to get number 2. He's going to get number 4, sorry. I'd probably just confuse the hell out of you. He's got number 6 at, what do you call it, Leicester. But I'm just going to give him number 4 here. I meant to say that we're not giving him number 2. We're going to give him number 4. So there is his shirt number. He looks decent in it. So let's go over to financial and see who our top paid player actually is. And yeah, it's definitely by a long way Johnny Evans. But he's 80 rated. I did not even realize that. Holy crap. That is a monster signing and really not too unrealistic. And our 2 new signings are our most high paid players. They're in Evans and Lundstrom. Let's go and chuck Johnny Evans straight into the side. So I want to get Metham to be here by the end of the season as like our starting right centre-back. But for now, he will go on the bench. But who does he go on the bench for? Oh, this is tough. I've just given myself a huge dilemma. This is actually really difficult. It's got to be Lloyd Kelly, surely. That's annoying, but he will definitely get a bit of game time this season, Lloyd Kelly. I'm going to try my best to do that. I've also got Billing on a plan for a CDM, although I will be switching him back to a centre mid just so he can have CDM as one of his positions, so one of those stupid exclamation marks doesn't come up when he is put at CDM. Here we go, press conference time ahead of our very first league game, away against Reading, who are top of the league, I think, in real life, which is going to be very, very tough. How has preseason prepared you for the real thing? I believe in these players, and I believe that we've built an insane team as well. Is the team good enough to win the league? The boys are winners, to be honest. In real life, it might beg to differ, our form. However, with the signings of Evans, Lundstrom, Kotar, all those sorts of players, and here he is talking about Lundstrom. But yeah, with those sorts of players, it's going to be a lot of an easier job, I hope, anyway. He'll make a difference here. He really will. He's going to make the midfield a lot more diverse and going to make my selection a lot more strict. You know, we're not going to have 3 set players, and it doesn't matter if they have a couple of off games, they're still going to start. You know, if say Billing's not performing, then Cook will come in, or Lundstrom, or someone like that, for example. Or even if Lundstrom's not performing, we've still got a world-class a really good quality player for the championship midfielder to come in. I need to get used to speaking again, guys. It has been quite a while. So today is the day, our very, very first game of the 2021 Championship campaign. Now, of course, we are up against Reading away from home because they don't have the real-life fixtures in the game because apparently it can bug it out or something like that. I can't remember. But we do have a pretty good squad in terms of overall. Now we've got Begovic up by 2. We've got Evans and Cook both up by 1. Stacey's up by 2, so he's literally just as good as Smith Spaeth overall now. And he's also got more match sharpness. We've got Rico almost at 80 rated. We've got King as a 78 technically, which is going to be very, very, very crucial. He's nearly at a full-on striker now, so he'll be a striker, centre forward and left mid in a bit. Same with Brooks to a right winger. He's also up to a 79, so yeah, that's very good. We're also going to give Billing a start. I know Lundstrom's technically 77, but we've got Billing who's 76, so it's not that bad. But I'd rather bring on Lundstrom for his debut. You know, I like giving players substitution debuts. It just, I don't know why, but it just sits better with me. We've got Requelme, again, Lundstrom, Stanislas, Solanke, Cotter, Smith, and Metham on the bench. Is there anything I want to do to that bench? Anyone that I want to bring in? I think we're right. I think I'm all good. But we're going to get into this game straight away against Reading. We're against Reading, who in real life are top of the championship. Well, were top of the championship until big Bournemouth came in with the 4-2 win. Oh, I got no sleep last night when I was watching that. But you know what? It's okay, because now we're here, and we're going to beat them again, aren't we, boys? Let's go do that. So I'm playing on Legendary, which means I may struggle a little bit, so if my commentary does go a little bit stale, I do apologise. It's just very, very difficult to focus when I'm playing against a team. All they do is drag backs. They've got incredible dribbling, all this sort of stuff. Evans comes in for his debut, which I'm very, very excited about. We've technically got a debut as well. Well, not a debut, but like a first return game for Asmi Begovic. Here's Danjuma, who's been our talisman in real life. I'd love to see him shine in this series as well. That would be absolutely awesome. I don't know how much he's going to grow this season, because if he doesn't grow enough, you know, the left wing could be a good position to bring in like a marquee signing. You know how sometimes promoted teams will bring in like a star man, you know, or someone that's just like going to bolster up the team so much. Oh God, how have you let that in, Begovic? Oh my God. No! No! What are you doing, Begovic? Oh, you absolute retard. So my defenders are absolutely stupid. And the shot is pathetic. And Begovic just kind of, Not just Begovic there, but everyone in the team is just an absolute spack for doing that. You absolute anus. Danjuma into King, who's probably going to be the player that we get most of our goals out of this season if we play our cards right. David Brooks wants it down the wing. He's not a typical pacey sort of winger. He's going to have to cut back here, giving it to Lewis Cook, who can't get it under control. We've got a big hole to run into here in midfield. Lewis Cook goes out to Brooks, whose run was pretty ordinary, but it's back in for Lewis Cook now, who's going to play it through for Philip Billing, who's going to go for the near post and smash it past the goalkeeper, and we are level. I panicked a bit after we conceded, just 13 to 15 minutes in, but now we have equalised, thanks to a nice assist from Lewis Cook, and a nice finish from Philip Billing, who just made a simple run through the midfield there, and yeah, that's very good. So two of our more, like, sort of box-to-box midfielders, but they're not really box-to-box midfielders. They just do more than what Jefferson Lerma does. They have more jobs to do, I mean. So two of them link up for our first goal, and Lundstrom is probably our marquee signing. I mean, no, never mind. That's Johnny Evans, but still, like, a really good player to bring in. So that's going to be a selection headache. God damn it, I should have played in King, and then probably should have used Danjuma. I'm spazzing it a bit here. We're being nice and patient here, boys. Philip Billing's going to use Jack Stacey. Here goes Lewis Cook into King. Not the pass I wanted. And the ref hasn't given a foul. What the hell? Cook, he's got a couple of options who are making very poor runs. He can't use Brooks there. There's nothing else I really could have done there, guys. Like, Brooks's run was just so autistic. We're going to go into the second half with no changes. It's been alright so far, I think, but we do need to do a little bit better. We need to keep the ball a bit better as well. We don't really have... sometimes I think this team would be really good with an outright attacking midfielder. Like, Brooks could do that job, I reckon, but we don't really have a right midfielder that can replace him. Like, Stanislas is our best bet, and he's a good bench player. Even for the championship, you know, it's we've got a good team, we really have, but it's just maybe our system needs touching. But again, let me know in the comments, guys. I'm not making all the decisions here. You guys are like my my backroom staff, you know. I need your help with signings, with player tactics, player development, all that sort of stuff, and what I should do to this team to make it better. But I need to concentrate when in defense, and that's why once I get my eye on that ball, I'm getting it. Oh, nice Cook. Come on, King. You've got to get to that. Don't go through the back of him. Jefferson Lerma into the feet of Josh King, who's going to turn and have a go. Unlucky. Raphael with the save. We're going to make a change real quick. I need some pace. I need some pace. So I'm going to bring on Requelma, who's not the quickest, but it's fresh legs. And besides, Brooks is slower than him. Oh, we've got it back. Johnny Evans into the feet of John Lundstrom. Requelma into Josh King. Not too many options, but he's going to use Lundstrom, who's going to play it through to Philip Billing, who needs to play it around to Danjuma now. It's a nice cutback. We're going to try the cross, I think. It's way too close to the keeper. That's poor. Do we bring on Smith or someone like Stanislas? I'm going to give Cotard a go in that CDM spot. Don't even think about losing. If we lose this game, I think that sums up EA pretty well, because there's no way on planet Earth that we should be losing a game to a team that have had one shot in 85 minutes. Come on, guys. Get the ball. Yes, Lerma. Alright. This is probably going to be our final chance of the game. Where are our numbers going forward? Huh? Lundstrom and Billing having to, like, play a 1-2 there. Why is King so far up the pitch? What is he doing? We're either going to draw or lose in our first game, and that's really not what we needed. Draw in our first game. It's Reading away. It's not a bad result as such, but it's just a bit annoying because we probably should have won that game. My man of the match in that game was unarguably Diego Rico. He was just an absolute running engine in that game. Absolutely brilliant. Whenever I do these little press conferences, by the way, it's just because I want to get the team morale up. I'm not really doing it for any other reason. But yeah, unlucky in that first game to drop 2 points. I think that's what we need to look at it as, and we can build from it from there. Why have I got an achievement? Why? But that's going to wrap up episode 1 of the Bournemouth Career Mode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please continue to watch throughout this Bournemouth Career Mode series. Do feel free to leave a like and a subscription to the channel down below. Nearly at 150 subs. I'm back in business, baby. And, yeah, again, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you soon.